Hey, it's Deborah Poneman, founder of Yes to Success, Ageless, and the Awake Method. So I've been hearing from so many people lately that they feel like everything or many things are imploding around them, and they kind of don't know what end is up. The world is going through some changes, I know, and you might be going through some changes yourself at work, with your relationships, or maybe you feel like everyone needs a piece of you and you just kind of are overwhelmed. Can you relate? Anyway, more often than not, what happens when we're overwhelmed is that we get this kind of personality that my kids used to call monster mommy. So, what to do? Well, some of the things you could do to free yourself from overwhelm include not striving for perfection and let great be good enough. Or you can start to delegate and let go of those things that you really don't have to do yourself. Or how about this? Asking for help. Now, that's a novel idea. And I know it's a little bit difficult for a lot of people, but try it and see what happens. And you know what else you can do? Calendar in self care time. That's right. Because if you don't put it on your calendar, it probably won't happen. And I also want to share another technique that I've used for years, and that is when you feel overwhelmed or you're about to put yourself in a situation that will inevitably lead to overwhelm, stop and ask yourself this question: why am I doing this? And once you have the answer, follow that with, is that really why? Asking ourselves that question can lead you to some powerful self-understanding and free you from doing some things that you really don't need to be doing. I'll give you an example. So you're at a meeting and you find yourself about to volunteer. Before you do, ask yourselves, why am I volunteering again to organize the block party? Your answer might be, because I'm just so great at organizing parties. Then you follow that question with, is that really why? To which the answer might be, well, really, it's because I don't trust anyone else to do it as well as me. Then ask, is it worth putting myself voluntarily into overwhelm? And the answer will almost always be no. And then you can make a different choice. So here's another example. Why am I continuing to rewrite this report over and over for the last 3 hours? Your answer might be, because I want it to be excellent. Then you ask, is that really why? To which the answer might be, well, really, I want my boss's approval. Great insight. Congratulations. Next question. Is it really worth sacrificing your health and your sleep? And the answer is usually no, because the truth is that sleep and good health care will create the situation where you will write a much more brilliant report in a much shorter time. I used to use this technique when my children were little. I know that I've shared this before, but I took a almost 20-year break from my speaking and seminar career to be home with my kids. But I also had a home-based business at the time, and I did a lot of nonprofit work. And I remember many nights that I would be, for example, working on the minutes from a board meeting of one of the nonprofits, and I'd be spending hours putting the minutes in the perfect format with impeccable sentence structure. And then I would remember to stop and ask myself, why are you doing this? And my answer would be, because these are important legal documents. And then I'd go to the next question. Is that really why? And inevitably, the answer would be something like, well, I don't want the chairman of the board to think I'm incompetent or that I wasn't paying attention during the meeting. And then I'd ask myself, is it really worth taking the time away from being with the kids? And the answer was always no, but only 100% of the time. And not once did anyone, least of all the chairman of the board, ever think the minutes were deficient in any way. You know what? Nobody probably even read the minutes, but my kids sure noticed when they were wanting me to read them a bedtime story, and they fell asleep waiting for me while I was perfecting the indentation. So not only does this technique of asking why but save you from voluntarily going into overwhelm, but gives you great insights about your motivations and an opportunity to question them and change them. So I'm going to end with a quote here, and this is from our good friend Anonymous, and it goes like this: "You can do anything, but you can't do everything." Wishing you a week full of asking why and hopefully making some changes in your life. See you next week.